First of all, ask yourself, why these things bothers me? To ask such a question, you need to know that thing bothers you. Yes, we are in difficult times. I do understand that things are moving much faster than we can catch up. Technology improves or progress at least 100 times more than 20 years ago. Every year we get almost the same amount of knowledge what we achieved last 1,000 years or so. And that complication also reflects into the speed of communication, access to the knowledge. We get connected with the world over the news. And those news for 50 years ago had no value for us. But today we have a high connection with every corner of the world, and that really puts into a kind of splitted, at least mind-wise, very splitted position. And that's why we need to be more conscious than any time in the history. So today we need to really be very, very well equipped with being mindful, conscious, aware, living the moment, and having an idea about our moment, our environment. This complexity is around us. We cannot deny the complexity. We cannot run away the complexity. We live there. So how to cope with it? The mental stress is built up because of our expectations, or the things they taught us, the things they encourage us to address into something where we feel a gap. The gap is the major reason behind the mental stress. Mental stress is really part of our life today, so we can't avoid mental stress due to the complexity and the multidimensional parts of the life. So that's why we need to learn how to cope with this complexity, how to cope with stress, how to cope with mentally be ourselves rather than others pushed here and there. We need to be, rather than being a subject, to be ourselves. How can we do that? The only solution is you know what's happening around you, what's happening in your body, and you know why the things are happening. First of all, ask yourself, why these things bothers me? To ask such a question, you need to know that thing bothers you. Mental stress is really part of our life, and we cannot avoid it. The complexity and all the happenings around us really puts this type of stressful surrounding. Every moment is have a kind of inbuilt stress bomb. So we need to learn how to cope with it. Coping with stress is difficult, but not that difficult. In order to cope with the stress, what you need to do, you need to learn how to be mindful, how to be in the moment, how to respond to your reality. In order to do that, you need to know your chemistry. You need to know how do you feel at that moment, what are your emotions, what are your thoughts. And you need to follow your thoughts and try to learn how to develop alternative thoughts. So if you can't do these things, you are part of the stress river, and you get lost in the river. River takes you to the more stress, until we call it anxiety gets increased. Anxiety turns into the depression. So in order to keep yourself out of this stress river, out of anxiety, out of depression, what we need to do, we need to learn how to cope with our realities, our moments, and then we need to say, okay, this is, I heard this, I listened to this, I see this, and I need to do my best to change that reality. But if you can't change it, since it's not under your control, if you can't change it, you should accept it as it is and learn it to live that thing as a part of your life happily. If you can't, then you should learn how to live that environment, how to move to a less stressful environment, and that could be a solution. Again, going back to TheLifeCo, Last year we made a kind of survey, and we realized that 85% of people finds in TheLifeCo mental peace rather than physical well-being. So that has been at the beginning what TheLifeCo addressed, more or less physical well-being, losing weight, etc., etc. But now stress, mental stress, burnout, etc., so big thing. So 85% of our people visiting us is after a mental peace, and we try to give them.